G'day guys, Define from Define Mods. Think you know what you're looking at there. That's the Sunlu Filadryer S4. That's not one of the early ones. I didn't get in on the initial buy-in, but yeah, I just jumped on board recently and thought I'd grab one. And the first thing I notice is that it's big. It takes up a lot of room on the desktop. We've been running these two for a while, the Sunlu single dryer. This is the older one with the pretty crap screen on it, and the so-so buttons, but it works. Been doing the job. Doesn't quite get up to the temps for PETG and drying other filaments, but look, we've got a few of these now and it's been doing the job really well. And recently we jumped on the Sovols. We've got a couple of these units, and I really like these. These actually punch a little bit above their weight, but they only hold two, and at the moment we seem to be more in the filament drying business than we do in the 3D printing business. It's just it's just once you get a few hundred rolls and you're pumping them through your machines, you tend to be, especially in the Australian climate, you tend to be, maintenance on your filament. That's the S4, guys, and like I said, the first thing I noticed is just how bloody big it is. I mean, compared to a single, I mean, if you put four of them side by side, I suppose you'd be getting close. But with a single one of these, where you can put this makes life so much easier, and that's something you've got to think about if you're going to jump on the bandwagon. I think this will be our one and only purchase of those. As sexy as it looks, it actually looks gorgeous. You've got to find a spot to put it, and it's completely top loading too, so it's not really a shelving or a rack item. It's more a desktop item. You can run filaments straight out of them. I'm not telling you anything new. Everybody's reviewing these at the moment. I'm just going to share a few of my thoughts. But what I did notice is that when I first switched it on, how quick it heats up. It heats up really quick. You instantly notice the warmth within seconds. So when you get it, it'll come in a big box like that. Well packed, wrapped in plastic. You get a little baggie of goodies and some tubing, a few accessories, a guide. From what I've noticed, it's all pretty self-explanatory on the front screen. It's got a power switch button on the back, so you'll have to switch it on. The first thing I noticed was the doors are a little catch here, a little lock catch, and that pulls across, lifts up, and then you can get your filament out. The only downside, like I say, to that is by the time you lift that up, that becomes a pretty tall unit, so you've got to have the room, whereas these ones both work in a similar manner. They don't lift up quite as high, but that's what you're dealing with to get your filament in, as opposed to dropping it in from that height. So that's something I suppose you've got to take into consideration when dealing with it. I like this. I like the fact that you can output from here all through there. You can output all 4 rolls at once. Plenty of room in there, so for your bigger rolls, I suppose. Double fans inside. They look like pretty good quality fans. I can't really get a good, but I've seen the brand name about. Definitely not a cheapie. Little desiccant holder, catchment area there. Obviously, it just opens up. But if I switch her on, the first thing I noticed was so that's your little screen that pops on, and it gives you, obviously, it's telling you what to do with that. Touch me, I'll make everything work. And then she cranks up. But that's the first thing I noticed. That's cool. I don't know if they'll gear down after a while, but that's already blowing warm air on my hand already. That's been on for a couple of seconds and it's blasting warm air on my hand. Now it's becoming hot air on my hand. Now it's becoming uncomfortably hot air on my hand. So that's That's how quick this thing warms up. That's really quick. That's really good. Shut up, it quietens down quite a bit. It's much more bearable. Screen's pretty good. Much nicer than this. Not a lot better than what's on the Solvo. Just a lot more information because of the bigger screen. So it's telling you how quickly it's heating up. It's already up to 40. It's been preset to 70. That's just set so you can. I'd imagine it'd get very close to 70. Just feeling that. Just feeling with my hand in there, I can tell it's going to get up to 70 pretty quick. It's a lot of information. Obviously starts off 5 hours 58, so it starts off with a 6-hour timer. But that's a really nice informative little screen, and it's really easy to touch. Power it off. I'm not sure how long, if you hold it for a couple of seconds or double tap. There you go, it's a double tap to switch it off and it switches off. Single tap to get it back on. Love the little LED lights. It's probably what sold me the most on it. I'm already thinking how nice it might look if I had a little LED strip inside it somewhere. Maybe just a little one tucked along this middle ribbon here, just to light the whole thing up inside. Might look good. But that's it, guys. It's quite light. That's one of the first things I noticed. It's very light, but I suppose once you get 4 kilos of filament in there, it'll get very heavy. But other than that, pretty nice, well packaged unit. Looks as sexy as hell. I mean, wow. Let's dim the lights, eh? Oh yeah, look at that. That is not a bad looking unit. There we go. The LED strip's still on up there, but that's not a bad looking unit, is it? You can't not know that's not on. Very nice unit, not cheap. Look, you know, for half the price, always on special on Amazon, delivered to your door the next day. You can get 2 of these. Again, they don't quite get up to the 70 degrees that this has been touted as. I think it sits somewhere at around about 68 constantly, which is, you know, about as close as you're going to get in cheaper units. There's still a little bit of noise coming out of it, but nowhere near as much as when you open these. And that's quite warm in there. Yeah, that is. That's really warm. Heats up a hell of a lot quicker than these do. Although you've got to remember that this little unit, when it's on special on Amazon, you know, around the $50 mark or something like that, 50, 60 bucks. Little fan inside, you know, good little unit. This one not so much. No fan inside, so no air circulation, and you have to understand that air circulation is the secret to drying filament quickly. That's why those food ones that people adapt work so well, because they are designed to move air. These little things don't. There is a mod you can do to them, but shit, you know, who wants to be modding that when you can buy this thing for 10 or 20 bucks cheaper? Works just as good and can do 2 reels. But that's it, guys. The Sunlu Filadryer, filament dryer, obviously, S4. Great little unit. Go grab one today. Cheers.